name is Ian Lego.
My name is Christian Del Riel.
Was a little bit more of an episode maybe Christian had, thinking that, yo, why don't we name our band after one of the moons from a random planet? And he like looked at Saturn and he said like, you know what, Narvee sounds pretty good. That's the name of one of the moons. Why don't we name it Narvee? And we just stuck with that for a while.
Well, one of them's my brother, so I grew up with him, and Christian, he lives maybe 7 houses down from us, so we kind of grew up together and formulated this band. We started having fun, jamming out. Here we are. My biggest influence is actually my percussion instructor at my high school. He was the one who really started teaching me how to play and play well, and using proper technique and all that stuff. So I really look up to him because he kicked a lot too.
So it started out with more of the old 90s kind of genre of rock. It started out with Weezer. That was definitely where I got most of my influences in when starting early on. Then I started making songs with a lot more of an Interpol kick to it. Like a lot of people would, whenever we would go on stage, they would always say, hey, you guys sound a lot like Interpol. And I would be wearing an Interpol shirt. People get the idea from it. So when that phase kind of went out for me, I kind of listened to more Arctic Monkeys, Alt J, more reverby kind of sounding music.
For the most part, the writing process would be me writing the music, and then Ian would just write the lyrics, and then we would just kind of like form that together, make adjustments depending on like how the song's coming out to be. What we have in our head at the time may not be the end result, so we're always working to make sure our songs like work as well as possible.
We had a lot of different avenues of writing songs. A lot of the times it's either Ian or Christian would make some sort of riff up, and I would make a beat to it. We'd jam on it for a bit. We'd formulate verse, chorus, all that stuff, and put it all together, and then in the end we'd write down the lyrics.
I think the proper terminology is controlled chaos, is what our writing process is. Well, before we used to usually have my friend Christian or my friend Sarah come up with a riff, and then I would try to practice more of a rhythm time, more of like a time signature with the rhythm, because at the time I wasn't really that good at guitar. Nowadays, I say it's more or less like something that just comes up at practice. Like we mostly do practices over at this studio called Solid Sounds, and we sometimes would create a random riff, or like sometimes we're in a break period when we already rehearsed all the songs. We would sometimes come up with a random riff. We would just try to build off of that. We would try to build off of some kind of rhythm onto it, and then finally we would just get like a hit song or like a hit idea, and be like, we finally created what this riff is. Now let's see what we create for the chorus, let's see what we create for the bridge. And it's more or less what it comes to mind. I say for my songs specifically, I sometimes just sit in my room with my amp, my guitar amp, and a looper station, and I just simply would play a riff over and over and over again, see if I can get like more of a melody with my voice with it, and saying like, yeah, this song could definitely work. So I guess more or less, if we're talking Christian songs, it's kind of like coming up with it on practice collectively, and with more of like my songs, I'd say it's more like me individually working on a looper station and then showing it to the guys what my idea is, or how I want the song to be.
It'd definitely be Absence, I think. That one's a lot of fun to play. Ever since we started making it, just always had fun playing it. I think, it was one of those songs we started making it kind of changed our sound for the most part. Wiley always sounded a lot different, and that really kind of marks, the definition of our sound today, in my opinion.
I think my favorite Narvee song would also have to be Absence, and that's only just because when I wrote that song, it really did. It was the catalyst for like changing our sound into what we have now, which is very, very important to us, because I felt like the Weezer sound we were going for wasn't really working out, and I wanted to try something a little bit more different. So our kind of post-modern instrumentals with Ian's kind of old school vocal style really gave us a unique, defined sound.
So I don't want to be narcissistic and say it's one of my songs that's pretty good, but I'm going to have to say that it's going to be Semper Fi. The song was mainly meant for the U.S. Marines, as we know. Semper de Fidelis, I believe is what the pronunciation for it is. No man should be left behind. And the reason why I did that song is it was in tribute to my uncle on my dad's side. His name was Philip. Him and his family members all were part of the U.S. Marines. And I felt like I wanted to make a tribute song to his sacrifice.
What is your overall goal for this band?
Having a main goal, like for instance, to make it big or to make a bunch of money with the band, feels like it would just cause me to be really, really upset and like unfulfilled a lot. So my main goal in the band is just to take it as far as I can, and however far that is totally fine with me, because I know that I'm gonna try 100% of the time to get my band to that next level, like every time. I feel that a lot of people think the scene's really toxic because of a total misunderstanding. I feel like the majority of toxic people in the scene is actually a minority, and there's a lot of really, really good people in the scene, but everyone's just so socially awkward because, I mean, we're all misfits, we're all musicians, that it may come off like, oh, this guy doesn't like me. But the truth is, we're all cool. It needs to take some time to break the ice. And if you don't know where to start, talk to some of the bands. Start talking about their music, tell them like how good their set was, if their set was good, and you can make friends really good that way. It'll start off as acquaintances, but that's like with every social situation. I feel like if we all do that, we can come together closer and build a much stronger community.